Alright, The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 14, Twice as Far. Yes! He's back! This, for the it took a while in this episode. For a long time, this episode was it's alright. Things are happening. They're doing good character development with, Rosita and Denise and Eugene and Abraham. And then, right then, at the 40 or at the 35-minute mark or something, spoilers for everyone who, this review will contain spoilers. Dwight comes back. I have a better one right here. Dwight comes back and he goes boom and he kills Denise. The arrow goes right through the back of her head and out through her eye. And those that have read the comics know that they changed it, and good change, because we didn't like what happened in the comics and who died there at all. It was anticlimactic and it wasn't that good. But I love this. This episode was great. We had another good episode. I mean, yeah, a lot of it wasn't too much happening, but when the stuff was happening, it was awesome. And I absolutely love the makeup and the suit, the jacket, the red long sleeve shirts, long hair, the burnt face. It looks fucking great. I love what Dwight looks like in the show. He looks sweet. So that's the big thing that happened. Let's break this episode down a little bit more. So we have two groups out. Well, we have in the beginning, we have stuff with Daryl and Carol, and Daryl's talking to Carol about how he should have let the people in the forest, which was Dwight and his girlfriend, I think her name was Sherry, he should have killed them. And I was like, I think I'm gonna see Dwight again this episode. I think we are. And he returned. So there was that, and the end of this episode is really confusing me. I don't understand it, but we'll get to that in a bit. We have Denise, who wants to go out to a drugstore nearby. She's found she knows that there's a place nearby where they can get some drugs and it's useful stuff. So great. So she asks Daryl and Rosita if they will go with her, if they will take her out to go there. And Daryl's like, you can just tell us and we'll go get it. And she's like, no, I want to go. I need to know how to defend myself. I need to train myself to become adaptable to this world, because she hasn't really gone outside. She might have taken out a few zombies in No Way Out, but other than that, she's not really a fighter, so she needs to learn. And so Daryl and Rosita agree, all right, fine, we'll go out and we'll take you to the drugstore and we'll be on guard for you. And so they go there, and meanwhile, Eugene and Abraham are going around, and Eugene told, what we find out why they're out there is because Eugene told Abraham about a place that he wanted to investigate, so the two of them went there. And Eugene has found a little machine shop, and he wants to start making bullets. Yes, that was the thing in the comics. That was one of the biggest contributions that Eugene has done. They've moved it earlier on. I think that this thing with the bullets, I think that came past issue 100 or something. Can't remember honestly off the top of my head, but it was a little bit afterwards. So yeah, so they moved it up a little bit more, which is cool. I like that. They're giving Eugene some cool story, and he's contributing, and that's important, because what Abraham said is, hey man, good job, good find. We need to make bullets. That's a great thing for the community. That's a good thing that's going to keep us going, and that's your skill. However, his skill is not yet really killing zombies too well. I mean, to be fair, he kind of got unlucky with the fact that the zombie he was trying to kill, molted lead on top of him, so when he tried to smack it with the machete, it just went dunk and came off. How did that sound? Well, we're not going to go into that. A zombie got lead on its head, so it's kind of like a helmet, and it's not going to just be taken down by that. So Eugene says, "I got dibs," so he tries to take it down. It doesn't work, and then eventually Abraham's just like, "Oh fuck it." So he takes like a rebar or whatever and like puts it to its throat and then like stabs it or just stabs it through. And Eugene kind of pulls a hissy fit, and it's like, Eugene, come on. But I think I understand why. I know why the situation, why they wrote it that way. Like, they needed to have the situation be that Eugene and Abraham were separated so Eugene could get captured and Abraham could attack the Saviors and Dwight. They needed that to happen, so they kind of probably maybe forced a like thing where Eugene said something that was stupid, so Abraham would leave. So that's kind of that's a bit of a negative, but they needed that to happen in order for Eugene to fucking bite Dwight's dick, which happens in the comics. And when I read, like, it's much more detailed in the comics. They cut away in the show for obvious reasons, but in the comics it's like, that shit's bleeding, and that's not good. So Eugene and Abraham, they kind of have a little argument after the walker, and so then Abraham leaves, and Eugene's in the machine shop alone for a little bit, and he's gonna walk back on his own. So then we go back to Daryl, Rosita, and Denise, and they get to the drugstore, and they find like this little pharmacy thing, and there's a ton of medicine in there. There is a ton of medicine. Good find. So I do like the fact that this episode focused, like, Eugene and Denise, that are not really good fighters, but they have skills that are very important to the group that can keep the group alive. Eugene found stuff to make bullets. Denise found a whole lot of medicine, and they were both ideas that they had. So that's how they contribute to the community, is not exactly being really good fighters, but being smart and coming up with things that will keep the community and going. And that's good. You can have people that are like that, and they'll still be important and useful to the place, even though they're not fighters. So they found the medicine, and then Denise went inside that like little closet or whatever, and that zombie was so it was so deformed and like decomposed. That was one of the most decomposed zombies I've ever seen in the show. And then there was like a little baby hand inside the sink, and I was like, what the fuck is that? That's creepy. That's really fucking creepy. So that was the thing. And yeah, once she came out, she was like, forget this, and she just closed the door and walked out and broke something. She was like, nothing's going on, and then she just walked out of the store and just waited for Daryl and Rosita to get out. Alright, what else do we got? So after that, it's kind of like they're walking back, they take the train. I like how Daryl said, we're not taking the tracks, because I kind of remind myself, Terminus, you don't want to walk on the tracks because you'll end up somewhere bad. Which probably won't happen again, but it's like, I'll just take the road, or I'll take this path rather than the train, whatever. So after they go back to, they start walking back to Alexandria, and they're on the tracks, they're walking back because it's quicker this time, and there's a bunch of cars nearby, and Denise sees a like cooler, and there's a zombie inside, and she's like, hey guys, can we stop and try and kill this? And Daryl and Rosita are like, no, it's not worth it, let's just keep going. For me, I'd be like, it's not really a harm. I mean, like, scavenging is really important. Why not just take a moment to kill one walker and then take whatever's in that car? I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't understand why Rosita and Daryl were like, no, forget it. I didn't understand that, but whatever. So there's like a little scuffle. Denise almost dies, but she is able to. So, like, it wasn't a clean kill, but at least she was able to kill the zombie all by herself. She didn't do like an A+ job. I'd give her a C for that. But, like, at least she didn't die. If she got bit, yeah, you fucking failed. But, hey, it wasn't a good kill, but it passed. She didn't die from that. And then she was like, oh, one soda. And then the other two, Rosita and Daryl, give her some shit for it. And I kind of feel bad for her, especially when she threw up on her glasses. I was like, where are your glasses? And then afterwards, she threw up on them. And so, like, Denise then goes on this talk about how she's jealous of the two of them and how Daryl reminded her of her older brother Dennis and how he was so brave and she wanted to be as brave as him. And Rosita's just like strong and she's alone right now, but she's, oh, well, actually gotta talk about that. Spencer and Rosita are a thing now. Like, I don't know if they're just friends with benefits or if they're actually a thing. I think Spencer's really confused about that too. Anyways, Denise is talking about to the two of them and how they're so brave and she wishes she could be like them and she's trying to be like them, and she gets annoyed that like the two of them say like they're not scared, but I am, you don't feel anything or something like that. I can't exactly remember or recall what the whole situation was, but like she's talking for a while and then all of a sudden, boom, the bolt, like you see the side shot. I loved how they did that, like instead of it being just a front, which kind of, I think it's better to do it from the side than it would be to do it from the front, which is what they did in the comics, and it felt kind of weird, to be honest. In the comics, when you're reading it, like it's the panel up here and then the picture of the person, so it's really like badly formed in the comics because it's like I can see with my eyes down below what's going on, so it kind of ruins it before you can even move your eyes to that spot in the comics. But I like the side shot a lot more. She's talking, what's going on? Like, you guys aren't scared. Boom! Arrow goes right through her back of her head and into her eye. She's dead, and she hits the ground. And then we see this guy fucking come back. Dwight returned. Like I said before, I'm gonna go over it again, but I don't care. I absolutely love the makeup. I love the like red jacket. We can see some tattoos now. He has like a handgun on his side. He has Daryl's crossbow, which he used to kill. Like that's the crossbow right there. But Dwight's leading a group of the Saviors. I think there was about maybe like 8 of them. Maybe I might be wrong. You can let me know in the comments how many there were. And when they were running away, there was like Dwight and 4 others that ran away. But like Dwight's talking, he's like he just killed Denise and he's got Eugene at gunpoint. That was what I was talking about, how the writers needed to make it so that these Abraham and Eugene were in 2 separate locations for Dwight to capture one of them, and then like Eugene Dwight wants to take them back to their base. He wants to know where they are so he can tell Negan probably. Well, obviously. And he says, we're going to blow Eugene's brains out. Then Rosita's. Then yours, Daryl. So I don't want that to happen. So you're going to tell me where you're going to bring us back to your camp. And then Eugene he says something that I thought was a little bit off, but like he said Abraham's over there or something, and so the Saviors went to check on it, and then Eugene was like, okay. He bit the White's dick. He bit his dick, and he starts screaming, ah! And then Abraham starts shooting. Daryl and Rosita dive down and grab some guns, like Daryl, I think, slices a guy's throat, takes his AK-47, starts shooting a few of them, and then, like, it's just a big little war. And the one last thing that happened was, like, in that whole scuffle, like, it was I absolutely love the action sequences this season. The action sequences with guns and fighting other people has been phenomenal. I love it. Like, All Out War is going to be pretty sweet if they're able to make all of, like, the action with gunfire look really cool as it is right now. But So, I'm not the best at keeping my train of thought going here. We have Denise get killed, and then Dwight. He just before he said, like he says, we gotta retreat, we gotta retreat. Just before he retreats, he pulls out his handgun and he takes 2 shots. And I was like wondering, where did those shots go? I'm pretty sure they went right into like Eugene's side. So he's smart to know that, like, if I shoot like one of their people, they will have to go back and they won't have time to come find us. So that'll buy us some time to get back to the sanctuary or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. The Savior's headquarters, and find Neek, talk to Negan, and report back. So Eugene got shot. He got shot, yeah, and that skirmish is all over, and they bring like Eugene back to Alexandria, and they bring Denise and they bury her, and she's dead. Kind of sad, but hey, not every character is gonna make it in this world, unfortunately. And the cast is getting a bit big, so considering like a lot of little characters are gonna go, and some big characters are probably gonna go pretty soon. And then at the end, we have one of the most confusing endings I have ever seen to this show. I don't know what's going on. Carol wrote something down to Tobin and said, like, Rick threw me out back in season 4, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I'm gonna go now and don't come find me. And then we see Morgan, like, looking past somewhere and looking out at something like he's really confused or, like, disgusted. I don't know. But that's how it ends. And I'm like, what does that mean? Where's Carol? What's going on? I'm so lost. But overall, I really liked this episode. I mean, it took a while for things to get going, but once shit did get going, it was great. It was awesome. I love what Dwight looks like. Can't wait to see Negan. I know when he's coming. Lots of people know he's going to be in the season finale. Everybody probably knows that by now. Even if you're just a casual fan, you're going to be in the finale. And I can't wait to see what's going on next. This half has been great. This half has been one of the best the show has ever put out. Leave a comment below on what you thought about this episode. I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed seeing Dwight. I was just so pumped because Dwight is awesome in the comics, and I was so happy to see him again. Yep, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys later.